You know that feeling when something just feels real, even if you can't exactly explain why? Well, we're about to dig into a really fascinating idea that's going to flip how you think about authenticity completely on its head. What if being real isn't about being random or spontaneous at all, but about following a very specific, almost predictable set of rules?
I mean, at first glance, these two concepts look like they're from different planets. Authenticity, we think of it as raw, human, totally unique. And then you have algorithms, methodical, repetitive, artificial. They seem like complete polar opposites, right? Well, that's the exact puzzle we're here to solve.
And this leads us right into what you could call the authenticity paradox. Our culture is absolutely obsessed with finding things that are authentic, but at the same time, we're basically swimming in an ocean of artificiality. I mean, from reality TV to our own social media feeds, that line between what's real and what's fake just gets blurrier and blurrier.
A perfect example of this whole paradox in action, the 2016 US election. It was a crazy time because people were calling it the authenticity election. Voters were desperate for someone who felt real. And yet, it was the very same event that made fake news a term everyone started using. So how on earth can both of those things be true at the same time?
And it gets even weirder when you look closer. Donald Trump's whole speaking style was seen as authentic because it seemed so off the cuff, so unrehearsed. He was breaking all the normal political rules. But here's the catch. That exact persona was something he'd spent years perfecting on his highly produced reality TV show. So the thing that felt the most spontaneous was actually a very well-practiced brand.
So, how do we make sense of all this? Well, the answer is in this really powerful, kind of counterintuitive idea, the algorithm of authenticity. This is the part where we stop thinking about authenticity and algorithms as enemies and start to see how they're secretly connected.
First things first, let's just rethink what an algorithm even is. We all tend to think of super complex computer code, right? But its real meaning is way, way simpler. As Robert Sedgwick puts it, an algorithm is just a method for solving a problem. That's it. Think of it like a recipe, or a formula, or a pattern. Just a set of instructions that gives you a regular result.
And here it is. This is the big aha moment. If an algorithm is just a reliable, repeatable, rule-bound process, well, then authenticity fits that description perfectly. It's not the opposite of an algorithm at all. In many cases, it is an algorithm. It's a set of cues and patterns that we recognize and that produces the feeling of realness in us, the audience.
Okay, so if authenticity is basically a set of rules, that means the real can be performed. It's like a script. And once you know what to look for, you start to see this script playing out all over the place, from huge media productions right down to our own digital lives.
Reality TV is the absolute classic example. Its whole brand is built on this promise of showing us real people in unscripted moments. But come on, we all know it's a super heavily formatted and edited genre. The drama, the tearful confessions, the shocking twists, they all follow a predictable formula that's designed to make us feel a certain way.
The media theorist Wendy Hui Kyung-chun put it perfectly. She says, reality TV is a program in every sense of the word. It's a TV show, yeah, but it's also a social and emotional algorithm. It basically takes real people as the input and reliably produces drama that feels totally authentic as the output.
And this isn't just about TV. Let's bring it closer to home. Think about our own lives online. The photos we choose to post, the updates we share, the whole persona we build. It's a performance, isn't it? We are all carefully constructing a digital identity, our own authentic self for our audience of followers. We follow the rules of the platform to get the result we want, the likes, the shares, the validation.
You know, what's wild is that this isn't even a new idea. Way back before social media was even a thing, the sociologist Irving Goffman had this incredible insight. He said the self isn't the cause of our actions, it's a product of the scene we're in. It's just a peg we hang a performance on, a performance that we create together with our audience. Our online profile isn't really who we are, it's the character we're playing in that moment.
Okay, so this whole performance of the real isn't just for entertainment. When it steps into the high-stakes world of politics, where it intersects with real power, the consequences become incredibly important. And this is where we run into the concept of truthiness. Stephen Colbert nailed this years ago, and it's brilliant. Truthiness is that thing where something just feels true in your gut, no matter what the facts say. It's all about appealing to this emotional, intuitive sense of reality. It basically just short-circuits any real debate by saying, hey, my feeling of truth is way more important than any actual verifiable truth.
And as funny as that is, truthiness isn't just a joke. It's an incredibly powerful political tool. It plugs right into a widespread feeling of disenchantment with experts and institutions. In that kind of environment, a leader's ability to create that truthy feeling, their perceived authenticity, can become way more valuable than boring stuff like policy details or, facts.
Okay, so I know this can all feel a bit disorienting. If authenticity is a performance and truth can just be a feeling, where does that leave us? Well, this way of looking at things actually gives us a much more powerful tool for understanding the world. It's all about learning to ask a new, and frankly, a much better question.
This is the real challenge, isn't it? We spend so much time and energy fact-checking and trying to debunk fake news. But if the real power of a message comes from how authentic it feels, then just pointing out that it's factually wrong, well, it might not work. It's kind of like trying to win an argument with a feeling.
So this is the shift. This is the key. We have to move on from the old, dead-end question, is this real, and start asking a new, much more powerful one. Why does this feel authentic? What rules is it following? What emotions is it trying to trigger in me? And who is this performance for?
And asking this new question is a total game changer. It gets us out of those endless going-nowhere arguments about what's fake or real. Instead, it helps us analyze the effects of information. We can start to understand the real motivations behind a message and the mechanics that make certain ideas so incredibly powerful and contagious.
So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Turn this question back on yourself. Think about the news sources you trust, the influencers you follow, the ideas that you really believe in. Don't just ask if they're true. Ask yourself, under what specific circumstances and by following what set of rules do I find them to be authentic? The answer just might surprise you.